And so like all these people that don't know jack shit about AI and like content creation and what this thing's really going to be used for think that it's like some new thing because it's just not their field. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Good morning, everybody. Little walk and wheeze out here early on a Sunday morning. I got out here early because supposedly there's going to be a big storm coming in this morning. I wanted to beat it before this big cold front comes through, but I guess it's coming in later because it's like the most beautiful morning I think I've ever had out on this trail. So wishing I'd woke my son up and brought him out here, but I thought it was going to be raining. Anyway, been kind of going back to my roots this last week with short video creation, driving, using short videos to just drum up leads and drive traffic. And man, it just works so well. It's just short videos and the short video platforms, they're just ripe for the picking still. You would think that like it's gonna get saturated, but once you do it for a little bit, you realize, and I don't want to beat a dead horse on this. I say this like in all my copy, but all the things I'm writing right now, but once you start creating a lot of it and you can see the analytics, like I never look at my TikTok analytics because I don't post there that often with this sort of niche stuff. Do it a lot in that manifestation stuff that I'm doing, which is working really, really well too, which is kind of what drove me back to like, okay, there's just so many eyeballs to be, to point at your stuff on short video content. My wife and I were making like 7-second to 10-second videos on there. She's way better at the stuff she makes, like blows up. I feel like I do the exact same thing. It doesn't do anything. So have to admit defeat in that realm. She's much better at that than I am. But with like talking head, like top 3 style stuff, where you're kind of just like talking about trendy stuff. Like that's all it is. I wanted to fight the ChatGPT thing. My buddy Richie and I were like, we could have had the first damn course out there on it. We were so damn close to getting it out, but the timing of it just wasn't good because of the holidays. And then I'm kind of glad we didn't actually release it. We would have made good money for sure, but the way that ChatGPT is like just constantly at capacity and stuff right now, the money wouldn't have been worth it, the backlash of having to do that. But you don't have to sell a ChatGPT product right now. It's just so trendy. This is just an example of something that's trending right now. It will be something else. Like, it will be something else. It's always going to keep moving. There'll be some new thing. There'll be some new platform. And people will just be more interested in it. But the way that you use it will be the same. This is what I'm learning. It's just don't fight the trends. And I saw Chris Derenberger like do this so damn well. Made me very jealous that he just had the better idea than I did. Where it was like, I was trying to create this course. What I should have done is just create a damn YouTube series, which is what I'm going to do now, with all the stuff that I had already recorded. So like Richie and I had the material, like the thing wasn't done by any stretch of the imagination, but we had hours of content based around all the same stuff that everybody else is making the content on now. If we were wise, we would have just like put it onto YouTube for free. But it's weird when you're working with somebody else in that situation, because it's like, well, how are you going to do that? Like, should you start a new? In hindsight, we probably should have just started a new YouTube channel and just done it like that. Because I see people that are growing YouTube channels just with that shit. Like, there's just so much traffic around ChatGPT. So I've just started to dive in. I already knew how to use it. I already know how to use all the AI. So to me, I don't see I'm not as hyped as everyone else is about it, that in the general public, just because this has been something that in the marketing world, we're like pretty used to using AI. There's like so many AI tools. We just use them all the damn time. And so it kind of becomes like, you think everybody is like aware that like 50% of the shit that they're consuming online, and it's starting to rain now, 50% of the shit that they're consuming online is like bot created, or at least some kind of bot involved in it, some sort of AI involved in the writing of it. Once you start using these tools, you realize like, oh shit. This is why I say when I learned Mass Pages from Greg, and that course is like really about like how to use AI. And that whole method is just about how to like use AI on a crazy scale, like combining different AI tools to just get eyeballs, leveraging AI to create content. I didn't really understand the weird shit that I would read on the internet that was just like, these people are either really, they just don't proofread their shit. Because it's not like it was like typos, it was just weird stuff that you come across. Once you start writing with AI, you realize, oh, this is all that stuff that I've been consuming for like a decade, that I've been seeing these like weird patterns in. It's just all this AI shit. It's just been written by AI, used like spinners to spin out to a bunch of different articles and just like blanketed on the web. You could call it spam, like spamming in a way, but it's not spamming individuals. It's just like spamming the search engine, which I got absolutely no problem with. It's a great way to like get your feet wet in the marketing world. And there's people that make like huge amounts of money and make a full living doing it. I never got it to that point, because I'm better at this sort of thing, I think, even though this may suck. You may be watching this like, you're better at this? You must have fucking really sucked at that. But making like personal branded content is what I like to do. And that works typically like a little bit better if you're looking for longevity, depending on how you do it. I'm saying this, there are people that blow me out of the water that have been using like Mass Page method and stuff to like build email lists. Like there's just smart ways to do it, but that's like a technically involved process. Glad I learned it, because I learned all this AI shit and I was introduced to it, but it also kind of put the blinders on me as to the reaction that people were having to ChatGPT, until I saw these like experts talking about like how dangerous it was and how scary it was. And these are like supposedly like the brilliant minds of our time, but they're talking about it. They have to have an opinion about it because that's what gets clicks on YouTube. And so like all these people that don't know jack shit about AI and like content creation and what this thing's really going to be used for, think that it's like some new thing because it's just not their field. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And so they're just like giving these like long-winded, philosophical, intellectual opinions on like the dangers of this thing. And they don't realize like really what people are going to use it to like just sell shit and like probably somehow figure out how to like make pornography out of it, something like that. Like it's not going to be something that's going to revolutionize like the way propaganda is like administered or something. Like if the people are using it for propaganda, like it's already been out there. Anyway, when you see that like all these larger people, like people that just like rule the YouTube algorithm, like that just are constantly doing opinion pieces, like entertainers, essentially, like podcasters, the big comedian podcasters, all of those people, they know, and their teams know, like what is the trend that's going on. And there's always some way to like make content around that to drive traffic. That's what they're doing. They're just driving traffic like to their own shit and like using the algorithm and the trend to do that. And so if you can't beat them, join them. Oh shit, I just almost ran into the damn thing. That little limb hanging down. I'm gonna leave that in. Yeah, if you can't beat them, join them. Like, no use in wasting any time having an opinion on it. You can't control what the people want. You can control what you consume. You can control how you market your business. But if you're looking to get a lot of traffic and there's trending stuff, and you either have something you can sell in that arena, or you can just use it to like build a huge list, like give away something for free on the back of an email opt-in, like use it. And I'm starting to go back to my reallycoolbots.com, which was like the most successful lead generation tool I've ever had. Like why I went away from it, I can't tell you why. I got bored with it. That's just how it is with some shit. It's like it works so well and you're like, all right, I'm just getting like 30, 40 emails a day, opt-ins, and I'm for like less than an hour of work. And some people get way more than that, but that's like what I was doing. And I was just making like 2 or 3 short videos a day. And when I did so much, I did that for so long, like 2 or 3 months, or 2 months, so long. For me, 2 months is like a full fucking career. I've moved on. And then I moved on, and I can't remember what it was. I guess I probably released, Amazon. I started doing Amazon stuff. So I was using short videos. I got more obsessed with Amazon. I took all the energy I was doing, put it into that. And I'm kind of like doing the same thing with the short. I'm like, it works so well, but now I'm going back to this other thing. But Amazon is like kind of on autopilot, the same way my Really Cool Bots was. So even after I stopped, I haven't made any short videos like on my TikTok or anything pushing to reallycoolbots.com in months. And I'm still getting email opt-ins every single day, like multiple email opt-ins. It's not where it was, but it's still big enough where it's like my email list is growing every day. And I'm just realizing like that's really all I care about on the business side of it, is like building a big ass email list. Like I've been in these affiliate contests recently where I'm getting to the top of these leaderboards on some of these launches. Some of them I'm winning outright. Some of the larger ones I'm like came in second on one of Rachel Lee's like big ones recently, where she did a lazy launch. Like the lazy launch shit, I'm like, I know how to do that, obviously, because I created the damn method. And so, or not, I harnessed methods that were already out there. I don't know, I put my own spin on it. And then like I was promoting a Travis Sago's contest, and it's like I can drive a lot of traffic to that, and I get out to an early lead and all this shit, and I'm like, if it's longer than like 2 or 3 days, my promo peters out because my email list just isn't big enough. That's just what I'm learning. All this to say, I want to like 10x my email list. I'm going to learn paid traffic this year. That's my big thing. I try to learn one big thing every year. And if I'm running paid traffic, really all that matters is that email capture. In my opinion, I don't know shit about it because I haven't done it yet, but this is my thinking going into it. Just knowing how email marketing works. If you understand how to spot the trends, and you have an email list that you just email once a day, twice a day, however often you want, the more often you email, the more successful you'll be. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but that's the game I'm playing. There are other games to play, but the game I'm playing is like, I'm gonna build a huge ass list, and then I'm gonna put stuff in front of them. You didn't have to sell them. I'm gonna put stuff in front of them that they want to consume. It's just that simple. Like, people want to consume shit. People want to buy things. People want to see what the new method is that makes them feel good. I'm talking about myself as well here. It's not to condescend to like people in general. Man, it turned out to be a great morning. If you just can see what the trends are, learn about them, or connect yourself with people that are learning about them, create short content around that, create maybe even long. I'm not good at long form stuff, as you can probably tell with this. Like, people really don't respond to the stuff that I do like this, that's like unedited spewing. I don't know if they respond to anyone that does this sort of thing. But the short stuff, anyone could do it. And you can leverage AI to like write these little scripts and shit, like get your hooks. Like, you just need hook, story, offer. You just need these little formulas. And all of the AI writing tools respond to hook story offer prompts and commands. If you tell it to write something in hook story offer, it understands it, it writes it. I suggest you break it down further than that, and you just give it a prompt that's like, give me 10 hooks about how AI is changing the world. Pick your best one, then say, elaborate on number 3. Write a story based on number 3. And then the call to action is, obviously you don't even need it to write your call to action. Your call to action is just like, go to reallycoolbots.com. Whatever your personalized email is goes to or whatever your personalized domain is. You want it to be snappy, like my chancereynolds.com one doesn't work for shit anymore. It used to like drive a little bit of traffic, and I was happy with what it did back then, but once I saw what really cool bots can do with a domain like that, it's really is like a game changer to get like, and it takes testing and time. You don't know right out of the gate what's going to work the best. You got to test stuff. Yep, really rambling on, 16 minutes. But yeah, ChatGPT, like the big issue that people are having with it is like people can't get into it. I do have an alternative way to get access to it, as do many of you. But if you go to reallycoolbots.com, even if you've opted in before, it won't like put you on the email list twice. Just put your email in, it will shoot you over there. You can get my recommendation on the best way to have constant access to it without worry of it being at capacity ever. And yeah, check it out. Nothing that's that complicated. But when you're going through that funnel, watch what I'm doing. Look at the steps that you're going through, and build it for yourself. Build something exactly like it. Make a copy of that spreadsheet if you have to. Do what you got to do to get those wins. Love you guys. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. Talk soon.